Welcome back to the Australian Fighting Championships. Back for another big fight. It is another Melburnian, Peter, the Bulldog Davenport, a man who has had many fights in the AFC. His challenge is seasoned veteran from America, Harris Norwood. Let's go to John DeMicoli in the centre of the cage. This one's going to be an absolute beauty.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is bout number 4 of the evening. Fighting out of the red corner, representing the United States of America, Harris Norwood.
Harris Norwood, American fighter, making his way into the AFC cage. Matt did some research on Harris, and he is a very crafty veteran, had multiple fights, 30-odd fights in his MMA career so far. Some good results, some bad results, obviously, but incredibly hard to stop.
Yeah, man, the guy's had so many professional fights. He's fought all across the world. In America, where the fight sports are so big, it's a dangerous fight for Peter, the Bulldog Davenport. We don't know what to expect. We haven't seen a lot of him in the AFC, so it's going to be a very, very interesting fight.
Yeah, look, Harris was always going to be the smaller fighter in this one. Unfortunately, Peter did miss weight yesterday. Became quite ill, unfortunately, and wasn't able to cut the last few pounds. So he won't only be giving up what would be a standard amount of size, giving up extra size now, given that Davenport didn't make weight. So again, for me, doesn't want to get too close to Peter in this one. Maintain his range and distance. It's very good boxing, Harris Norwood. Does have a good ground game as well, but I think Peter's going to be far bigger in this one. So for me, stay away from the clinch, stay away from the grapple, stay on your feet and try and pick Peter apart from distance.
And great to have Harris Norwood make his way to the centre of the cage.
And ladies and gentlemen, his opponent, the Bulldog, Peter Davenport.
Joshy Warner, the former VFL footballer turned mixed martial artist. Peter the Bulldog Davenport, born and bred Geelong. They love him in Melbourne, and great to have him fighting again in the AFC, but this time overseas now, first ever fight weekend in China.
Yeah, look, Peter's been with the AFC for a long time now. AFC 5, I think, don't quote me on that, was Peter's first fight in the promotion some 12 fight cards ago. He's fought considerably amount of times here. And again, impartial, unbiased commentators, of course, but Peter's one of our favourites. And look, I really hope he does well here. I'm not going to shy away from the fact this is a do-or-die fight for Peter. If he loses this, I would suggest his martial arts career is pretty much done and dusted. But a big win, and all of a sudden again, catapults himself back up into whatever division he chooses to fight, whether it is light, whether it is welter, whether it is middle one of these days. But a big win here rejuvenates Peter Davenport's career.
One thing I'll always remember about Peter the Bulldog Davenport, when he started in the AFC as commentating, he put down his style as a brawler. He's a little bit more rounded these days. He runs a great mixed martial arts gym there in Geelong. He's worked on his ground game, and he said he's ready for this. So despite losing weight, he said he's in very good condition and his fitness is up.
He's recovered well today, and I mean, a lot of the credit to the fighter Peter Davenport is right now comes down to Rich Poole, Johnny Burke, the boys at Elite Training Centre. They've transitioned him from a brawler, as you said, into a complete martial artist.
A very full stadium here in China as well before we go to John DeMicoli.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to bout number 4 of the evening. 3 by 5 minute rounds in the AFC 74 kilogram catchweight. Your referee in charge, Mr. Greg Clenyans. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner. This man is a freestyle mixed martial artist, standing 5 feet 11 and a half inches tall, an official weight of 73.75 kilograms. A fight record of 7 wins, 18 losses, 1 draw, 4 coming by knockout. Fighting out of Hong Kong in China and ATT in Atlanta, USA. Ladies and gentlemen, Harris Norwood. And across the cage, his opponent, fighting out of the blue corner. This man's a mixed martial artist, standing 5 feet 11 inches tall, an official weight of 77.85 kilograms. 3 wins, 5 losses. Fighting out the Elite Training Centre in Geelong, Australia. Ladies and gentlemen, the Bulldog, Pete Davenport.
Peter the Bulldog Davenport cannot wait for this one. And as they say when Bulldog fights, do not blink. It is Harris Norwood in the black trunks, Peter the Davenport. He's got the Aussie flag on his black shorts here, and a good height advantage to the American Harris Norwood. Josh?
He'll have height and reach. Peter will have strength straight away. So again, make or break fight. All the pressure in the world in the Bulldog, and let's see what he's got to offer.
Fight number 4, AFC Shan China. Matt Pilios with Josh Warner in this beautiful country for the historic Australian Fighting Championships.
Here we go, straight away, jockeying for position. As I thought, Harris looking to maintain a bit of distance, get away from Pete, unleash some of those unorthodox strikes. Good right hand from Peter early.
Pete.
Gets hold of him though, shoots for the single double leg takedown early on. So Pete gets the takedown early as we expected. It's going to be very, very hard for Harris to buck, given the weight advantage Peter's got in this fight.
Peter's going to love this position. He's going to want to explode on Harris.
In full guard early on, posture is very high, and he's going to rain down some punches and elbows here. But Harris is crafty. Harris has been around for a very long time. He's straight away then got into a full closed guard. Would have been in this position a million times in his career, so he'll know how to work from here. First thing he's going to want to try and do is try to cage walk. He's going to try and get his body positioned so he can crawl himself up that cage and get back to his feet. The other thing he's going to want to try and do is get Peter's body position lower. Letting him stack like that means he can just rain down punches from above. Try and get Pete on the ground. Get those knees on the ground, gives him less power in those punches.
He's locked in Pete's right arm, but Pete throwing some punches with his left. Good slam there.
Yeah, this is where Pete wants to be. This is Pete's home right now. This is the perfect position for him.
And Pete has some great explosive strength, he does, so...
He does, he has great strength, and again, it's just, the weight that Peter's carrying here and the advantage he has. He'll be able to sit here for the entire fight if he needs to. Just land those small elbows, those little cheeky punches, gets in the points, gets in the decision victory.
And Bulldog Davenport, he said this is a very important fight for his career. He's been very fired up, very intense.
This is a penultimate fight for him. Again, loser pretty much goes home in this one, and Pete doesn't want to be that guy tonight.
Starting to get busy on the top there, Peter. Good punches landing.
They're big shots, big lefts and rights by Peter Davenport. Harris in trouble early in round 1.
Oh, good right, that one. Straight through Harris's defence. On again, and again, elbows.
Big shots by Peter Davenport from the top. Harris Norwood, big trouble early in round 1.
Harris needs to survive this.
He's got to get Pete's body position though, grab a hold of him, throw a submission up, even lock him down and get referee Greg Clenions to stand the fight back up.
Maybe a cut on the right side of Harris Norwood.
Yeah, he's got some blood there, Matt, definitely. And I mean, that could have been from either one of those multiple elbows that he landed a few seconds ago.
A great ground and pound for Peter, the Bulldog Davenport. All of Geelong will be cheering tonight.
I'll be very happy
right another
now.
Elbow.
And this is the game plan Peter wanted. Get on top and rain down punches. So executed perfectly by the Bulldogs so far.
And Harris Norwood really has to get up. He needs to explode.
And we hasn't really done anything yet. He's in the same position he was, 3 minutes ago. So manoeuvre your body, try and hip escape out. Again, even just grab a hold of Peter's wrist, grab a hold of his head, and lock him down for 30 seconds. Give the ref a reason to stand this fight up. He's got half guard now, and that's better. He's got Peter's body position lower, so Peter can do far less from this position, but he's going to let him go.
And Pete just absolutely dominating this round.
Yeah, jockeying for position again here so far. So Pete on top, and again the elbows come perfectly executed by Peter Davenport.
Harris Norwood hasn't really had any offense at all so far tonight.
No, Peter's got this fight down early in round 1, and he's been unleashing ground and pound ever since.
And those rights are getting through.
Oh, they're clean punches. I mean, the cut, he's already been opened up, but they're hurting Harris Norwood. And I'm surprised with such a crafty veteran hasn't tried to improve his position from here. Elbow again by Davenport.
It's, as you said earlier tonight, the strength of Peter and that physical advantage, he probably just doesn't feel like he can get out.
He might not be able to buck him, yeah, but anything, even, like I said, just get your hands around the back of his head, lock him down for a few seconds. The ref will stand this one up really quickly.
And Pete landing volume at the moment.
Yeah, big shots by Peter Davenport. This has been a dominant first round, exactly what he needed.
Good left there, got through.
Again, he's going to stack him here. He's going to heighten his body posture and then rain those punches down. Armbar may be here for Harris Norwood. No, lets it go.
Well, Harris throws a nice little short elbow there. Got the attention of Peter.
A couple of shots from the bottom, but you know, someone as seasoned and as tough as Davenport really won't be affected by those.
The crowd really cheering Peter, the Bulldog Davenport.
Yeah, this is impressive. This is really dominant ground control. This is smothering ground control by Peter Davenport so far.
And Harris Norwood desperate to get up. Another big right
big
elbow.
shots by Pete Davenport.
End of round one.
And round number one. And a dominant round. Could that possibly have been a 10-8 round, Josh Warner?
I reckon they could be, Matt. I mean, there was really no offence by Harris Norwood at all in that round. Complete and utter control by Pete Davenport. That's as close to a 10-8 round as you're going to get.
And have a look at some replays and a very, very good display for Peter the Bulldog Davenport.
Yeah, within the first sort of 20 seconds, Pete got the takedown, executed the double leg perfectly, moved into dominant position, and really spent the rest of the round just sharpening his elbows and fists on Harris Norwood's face.
Norwood there, you just saw him get a lot of it in that cut open there.
Yeah, Bridgepool in his corner right now there with Johnny Burke. They'll be saying very simply, Pete, exact same thing again. Shoot for the takedown, get it to the ground, and then unleash more of that dominant ground and pound.
And Harris, he's got the local trainers in there tonight as well. It'll be interesting to see if there's much of a language barrier.
Oh, look, possibly, but look, their simple message to Harris really needs to be stay away. Keep your distance, use your reach advantage, use your kicks, get those front kicks out there, get those punches out there. You know, cut Pete up, put some leather on his chin, let him know you're still in this fight.
Pepper that jab. And you know, he's known for his stand-up, Harrison. So Harrison Norwood, let's see what he can do. A dominant round to a big, bad Peter the Bulldog Davenport. Round number two.
All right, here we go. So see what Harris can change up here to get this fight back into his advantage.
Good
leg kick to start. Another good leg kick.
And
so
again.
Pete's got to hold him though. So Harris has got to lower his body position, get his posture down, lower his weight.
Could not let Peter take him down.
He's got the single leg. He's going to work and down again. So big trouble again for Harris Norwood early on.
He's in a lot of trouble.
And Pete moves him straight against the cage. Although that does give Harris a chance to try that cage walk, what it also does is decrease the head movement Harris is able to apply right here, which means he's more of a sitting target for Pete's elbows and punches.
Pete starts with some body punches. And Harrison Norwood really needs to get out of this position. Oh, good right there by Peter Davenport.
Yeah, he's going to rain down these punches again.
Some up kicks.
Oh, good up kick.
He's got those long legs.
He does. He can
go for it.
No, hasn't got it.
And Pete very cold. Oh,
good
big
shots
right.
Big shots by Pete Davenport.
These are getting through,
Josh.
Josh.
He's tapped. Harris Norwood's tapped, yep. The referee's seen it. Harris Norwood is tapped to the strikes of Peter Davenport. And after such a dominant round one, Matt, pretty obvious Harris didn't want to be down there for another 5 minutes.
Yeah, look, interesting finish there. Pete just pounded. There's some sort of complaint there by Harrison Norwood. Don't know if he felt that Pete striked him after
I
he
think
tapped.
it was Pete. Pete actually said he's tapping. I don't think the ref saw it straight away. So
great sportsmanship, though.
And that's what we need to see in this sport. That's fantastic. So Matty enters the cage. We can see here on the highlights, dominant display by Peter Davenport from the very get-go. Got the fight to the ground early in round one and huge ground and pound for the remainder of the round. Round two, very similar. Fight down early on, some really big right hands. Harris Norwood taps out. And Peter Davenport not only puts on an impressive display, but probably saves his career. So kudos to the Bulldog. We'll go John DiMacaulay, centre cage for the official announcement.
Ladies and gentlemen, 1 minute and 6 seconds into the second round. This fight ended, declaring winner via TKO, via ground and pound. Blue corner, the Bulldog, Pete Davenport.
Thank you, John and Greg. Let's welcome, thank you to our American fighter, firstly, all the way from America. A big round of applause from America, Harrison.
这位选手是来自于美国的选手，非常的棒啊！大家掌声鼓励一下。
Hey, firstly, let all the Chinese people know his nickname from Melbourne is the Bulldog. He's an ex-professional Australian footballer.
那我们赢得比赛的选手呢，也是澳大利亚一位非常著名的选手，今天来到我们中国西安呢，比赛也是赢得了胜利，也算是他们澳大利亚人的众望所归。
Peter, how have you enjoyed the travelling so far and the Chinese culture?
大家好。
哦，大家好。
Hey, I love China. China
Wow.
is awesome. I love the place. Hey, little boys, nah. I love China and I can't wait to come back and punch
没
on
错，
again.
那他相信还会再来到我们中国的，我们也中国人也非常欢迎你再一次来。
Let's go! Hey! I'll knock some fuckers out. You get me back here, I'll keep knocking motherfuckers out.
哦。好的，再一次感谢我们这位选手，恭喜你取得了胜利。
He likes to be saying the bulldog, woof woof.
哇，那这位选手想学一学我们中国的功夫，那不知道我们有没有会中国功夫的朋友呢？哇，那我们
Thank you very much. Thank you.